What should you do when severe weather strikes? Stay tuned as the station that tracks storms brings you the KTXS 2013 Spring Weather Special. Learn what to do to be safe in a storm from KTXS Chief Meteorologist Mark Rowell, Morning Meteorologist Julie Phillips, and Weekend Meteorologist Chelsea Humphrey.
Welcome to this year's KTXS Storm Tracker Severe Weather Special. I'm KTXS Chief Meteorologist Mark Rowell, along with meteorologist Julie Phillips and meteorologist Chelsea Humphrey. Springtime is typically our peak for severe thunderstorms. We want to get you prepared for dealing with the thunderstorm dangers.
Strong thunderstorms can produce tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, and frequent lightning. All of these can be a danger to you and your family.
We're here to bring you tips on staying safe. Let's start with a look at some of the tornadoes we had in 2012. During severe weather season, the threat of tornadoes looms whenever thunderstorms break out. During 2012, the U.S. saw somewhere between 900 and 1,000 confirmed tornadoes. This made for a slow year overall, but a few of these actually occurred in the big country. We tracked 2 storm systems that spawned tornadoes in our area in 2012. Several small tornadoes formed outside of Sterling City in early April, and a severe weather outbreak at the end of May produced multiple tornadoes in Runnels and Mason counties. All were rated EF0s.
On May 30th, a severe thunderstorm developed in southern Taylor County. It moved almost due south through Runnels and eventually into Concho County. Near the Runnels-Concho County line, this EF0 tornado was captured on video. Fortunately, the tornado stayed in open country and no damage was observed or reported.
We were lucky in 2012 to only see a handful of tornadoes in the big country. All of them the weakest rating on the enhanced Fujita scale, EF0, but things could have been much worse. Tornadoes are one of nature's most violent storms. Once on the ground, these rapidly rotating columns of air can clock wind speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour. Twisters can stay on the ground for a matter of minutes, causing virtually no damage at all, or for hours, destroying nearly everything in its path. Recently, we took a trip to Lubbock to the Wind Science and Engineering Research Center. The center was developed after a devastating EF5 tornado ripped through the city in the early 70s, killing 26 people. We spoke with the heads of 2 separate projects that are designed to help us better understand these storms and to limit the loss of life. This is Vortec, a tornado simulating behemoth that can create winds comparable to a mid-EF3 tornado. The creator wants to understand the difference between straight-line winds and rotational ones like the ones we see in a tornado. We're inside Vortec right now where 8 fans are simulating the winds from a tornado and showing just how those rotational winds affect structures like manufactured homes. Another goal seeks to ensure that building codes designed for straight-line winds are enough to protect a building's occupants in rotational winds too.
It could have been major destructive.
Not 100 feet away, they test the sturdiness of structures against debris impacts comparable to an EF5 tornado. And in just a few minutes, a 2x4 just a little bit longer than this is going to be shot out of that cannon at over 100 miles per hour, all at this reinforced brick wall.
Clear. 3, 2, 1.
Larry Turner, a research associate at WISE, tells us how their tests have been saving lives.
Parts of Joplin were totally leveled, and some of the shelters that were tested right here in this laboratory survived.
Chelsea just showed you the colossal force of tornadic winds and the damage they can cause. The good news is the majority of tornadoes are not violent EF5s or EF4s and are actually very survivable if you take the proper shelter.
Oh my God, look, that's a tornado.
So a tornado warning has just been issued for your town. Where do you go? If you're at home, you want to get to the lowest level of your house. Take cover in a small center room with no windows, like a bathroom or closet. Crouch on the floor and cover your head with your hands or padding like blankets to block flying debris. If you're in a mobile home, get out. These are easily destroyed as you see in the video here, so get to a sturdy building. Traveling in a car during a potential tornado can be a tricky predicament. If it's daytime and you can see the tornado far away, drive out of its path and get to a safe shelter. Otherwise, you're going to want to stay in the car with your seatbelt on and put your head beneath the windows. Contrary to popular belief, do not hide underneath a bridge. If you spot land lower than the roadway, abandon your car and lie down in that area, covering your head. Caught outside during a tornado with no safe shelter nearby, lay face down on the ground away from any cars and trees. Happen to be inside a public building during a storm? Use the stairs, not the elevators.
Thunderstorms can develop any time of the year when the conditions are right. The National Weather Service has a group of meteorologists assigned to track thunderstorm dangers. When an outbreak of severe thunderstorms are forecast to form, usually a severe thunderstorm or tornado watch is issued. A watch means you should pay close attention to the weather. When a thunderstorm is expected to produce large hail of an inch in diameter or greater, or winds greater than 57 miles per hour, a severe thunderstorm warning is issued. If a thunderstorm is producing a tornado or is likely to produce a tornado warning is issued. When a warning is issued, you need to act. Use the safety tips Julie just showed you.
Strong, damaging winds don't just come from tornadoes. Microbursts are capable of producing winds in excess of 100 miles per hour, faster than an EF2 tornado. Microbursts occur when the downdraft of a thunderstorm hits the ground and has nowhere to go but out. Rain often evaporates out of the air as it's falling. This helps to strengthen the downdraft and increase the winds of the microburst here on the ground.
To help alert you to weather dangers, KTXS has free weather apps for Apple, Android, and BlackBerry smartphones. You can also sign up for weather warnings to be sent to you by text or email. Just visit KTXS.com, go to the weather page, and click on the email sign-up site.
Today's technology makes it easy to receive alerts during dangerous storms. If you are a resident of Taylor County, you can sign up for Code Red. This automated system will call you in the event of a tornado warning or other dangerous situation. The key to this system is you must sign up for it though, and you can have a link to that on our website, KTXS.com. Residents of Brown County have the option to sign up for a similar program called Drought Alert. You can also go to our website, KTXS.com, and we'll link you to Drought Alert there.
Chief Meteorologist Mark Rowlett grew up on the Texas coast. He earned a degree in meteorology from Texas A&M in 1980. He's been forecasting the weather and tracking storms in Louisiana and Texas for over 30 years. He's tracked dangerous Category 5 hurricanes, deadly tornado-producing thunderstorms, and crippling ice storms. Mark is committed to bringing you a reliable weather forecast and alerting you to danger during severe weather.
In an average year, 1,200 tornadoes are confirmed in the United States. Do you know the average number that occur in the state of Texas, though? Is it A, 400, B, 150, C, 50, or D, 10? Stay with us. We'll have the answer for you after this break.
The Spring Weather Special is brought to you by Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union.
In these uncertain economic times, Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union is confident that we'll continue paying you higher interest rates on your savings accounts and charging you lower rates on your loans, just like we've done since 1950. Because we're locally owned, we're solid, so you can be confident that your money's safe in the good times, the bad times, and all times in between. Today, more than ever, count on Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union, where everyone's a teacher.
Welcome back. The answer to that last question was B. 150 tornadoes touch down in the state of Texas on average each year. That is actually the greatest number of any state. But when you factor in the size of Texas, we actually rank somewhere in the middle.
Officially, Abilene saw more than 23 inches of rain in 2012. A large portion of that fell in late September. For people in Ballinger, that meant too much of a good thing. Steady, soaking rains fell around the area with between 5 and 9 inches falling around the Colorado River in Runnels County alone. The Colorado River rose to 26 feet in town, and the Elm Creek poured over into the park, leaving picnic tables and playground equipment underwater. An evacuation was ordered for the southeast side of the city, but fortunately was lifted about 2 hours later. While it seems that dry weather is the norm here in the big country, we aren't immune to flooding either. Flash flooding is the #1 thunderstorm-related killer, mainly because people don't recognize the power of water. Most floods occur from slow-moving storms and thunder showers like what the Big Country saw last September. Fortunately, no major damage was reported from those storms, but that's not always the case. In 2002, torrential rains led to devastating flooding, totaling more than $15 million in damage. At the time, Abilene was declared a state and federal disaster area. Another big source of flooding for our region are tropical systems. Tropical Storm Aaron was one of the worst, making Texas landfall and sweeping up to the Big Country. In 2007, Aaron poured 6 to 9 inches of rain into the city, flooding streets, causing a threat for disease, and even claiming one life. When it comes to flooding, there are some important things to remember. It only takes a few inches of water to sweep you off your feet and about 2 feet of rushing water to wash a car away. So remember, if you come up to high water, turn around, don't drown.
The KTXS weather team keeps you up to date with the latest weather conditions 24/7. Meteorologists update our weather line multiple times a day to give you a reliable forecast. You can call the number on your screen, 325-672-1312, anytime to hear it. Curious about active weather in the area? Just go to our digital channel, 125, which has a look at the radar and a recording of weather observations across the Big Country. The KTXS Weather Center is equipped with some of the best technology available for meteorologists. The computer and tools we have here allow us to bring you an accurate forecast and track storms as they move across the Big Country. Stepping into the KTXS Weather Center, meteorologists have all the technology we need at an arm's reach. Here is where we access our Storm Tracker network sites, located across the viewing area. These sites give us up-to-the-minute observations like temperatures, wind speeds, and rainfall totals. During severe weather, this monitor is vital. It displays all of the active weather watches and warnings so that we can crawl them on your television set instantly. This gives you advanced warning of nearby storms. Keeping in touch with the National Weather Service offices is equally important during inclement weather, and we're able to do that right here in the National Weather Service chat groups. These two computers make it possible to deliver all of this information to you at home. They house our top-of-the-line TrueView Max graphic systems. And sometimes taking a look outside is all you need, and we can actually do that in the Weather Center too with a look at our tower cam.
The National Weather Service, the Department of Defense, and the FAA maintain about 200 weather radar sites across the United States. This information is available to most every TV station in the country. However, 17 years ago, KTXS committed to build and operate its own Doppler weather radar. Having our own radar gives the KTXS storm team the ability to track storms with more frequent updates of storm intensity and location for the storms in our region. This allows us to bring you better information during times of thunderstorm danger, minutes sooner than other TV stations in our region. Our KTXS Live Doppler weather radar is displayed on our own HD weather graphic system, along with the other weather radars the government agencies have in the U.S. You can also see the real-time plots of cloud-to-ground lightning, hail markers, and the latest storm reports.
Julie Phillips has been with KTXS for almost 3 years. She graduated with both a degree in meteorology and broadcast journalism from the University of Miami. This dual degree helps her communicate the weather to you in a way you can easily understand. She loves the challenge of forecasting quickly changing weather in West Texas and doesn't mind the mild winters either. Not a morning person by nature, with the help of caffeine, there's no show she'd rather be a part of than the fun on KTXS This Morning.
Time for question number 2. You've probably heard of a large flooding event referred to as a 100-year flood. But can you have more than one 100-year flood every century? Don't go away, your answer is right after the break.
The Spring Weather Special is brought to you by Taylor Electric Cooperative.
Decades ago, we set out to bring affordable, reliable electricity to everyone. Lines extended. America grew. Today, we have a new challenge: to use that electricity wisely. Find out how your Touchstone Energy Cooperative can help you save energy and money at togetherwesave.com.
Taylor Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome back. The question was, can a 100-year flood happen more than once in 100 years? The answer, yes. A term 100-year flood can be misleading because an uncommonly large flood can happen at any time. The 100-year flood is one so large it only has a 1% chance of happening in a year. Maybe a better name for it would be a 1 in 100 chance flood.
Lightning is a frequent visitor to the Big Country, Concho Valley, and the Heartland. Let's take a look at some of the dangers from lightning. Every thunderstorm has lightning. Lightning can travel between clouds, within clouds, from the cloud to the air, and from the cloud to the ground. Lightning is a powerful surge of electricity that can start grass fires, structure fires, and it kills about 54 people each year, with hundreds more injured. The air is a poor conductor of electricity, but as we have seen, lightning is able to pass through it. People conduct electricity a little bit better than the air, so if it's just you in the air out in this open field, the lightning would rather pass through you than the air. So let's give the lightning another choice. You need to get inside of something like a car, or better yet, a building, where if the lightning were to strike, it would rather go through the wires in the walls than to go through you. It's also a good idea to avoid using a corded phone and handheld electrical appliances during a storm. Remember, when the thunder roars, get indoors. Lightning does hit buildings. This home in Anson is thought to have been hit by lightning, causing a fire that damaged this garage and car. In addition, lightning striking away from where it rains can produce grass fires.
Droughts are nothing new to us here in West Texas, and some of our local lakes and reservoirs often find themselves hit hardest by that lack of rain. There are even some whose low levels can't support surrounding towns or the fish that call the lakes home. More often than not, several reservoirs and lakes from around the region experience periods of dropping levels. Last summer, residents of Rotan had serious issues with the taste and smell of the water because their main water source, Lake J.B. Thomas, was almost completely dry. As an alternative, they had to begin pumping in water from the O.H. Ivy Reservoir in Concho County. Dwindling lake levels can also be to blame for a foul smell in the air. Lake Trammell, south of Sweetwater, ran completely dry in 2012, unfortunately leaving the fish with nowhere to go. You'd be hard-pressed to find a body of water in West Texas that even has half of its full capacity. The O.H. Ivy Reservoir in Concho County has 21.8% of its full capacity. Hubbard Creek Reservoir outside of Breckenridge is 28.4% full. Lake Fort Phantom is at 49.1% capacity. Lake Coleman is at 45.8%. And Lake Brownwood is doing the best. It's 54.7% full.
During severe weather events like flooding, winter storms, or tornadoes, the entire KTXS team gets involved. It takes a team effort to get the most accurate and detailed information out to you during times like this. When nasty storms hit, storm coverage at KTXS is spearheaded by the meteorologists in the Weather Center. You can always count on at least one of us to be tracking storms, but during severe weather outbreaks, don't be surprised to see all three of us here. This allows us to utilize all of the tools on our radar, bring you wall-to-wall coverage, and still be doing things like posting warnings on Twitter and Facebook at the same time. Watches and warnings are first issued by the National Weather Service and then pop up instantaneously on our crawl monitor so we can quickly put them on air.
KTXS Severe Weather Storm Alert.
Depending on the nature of the warnings, KTXS meteorologists will cut into regular programming to bring you necessary storm updates. As storms develop, KTXS photographers are then sent out to gather video of the storms and any damage that may follow. KTXS Newsroom. And KTXS producers, of course, keep close tabs on changing weather conditions to make sure our newscast provides ample coverage during severe weather events. Anytime we could see widespread school delays due to snow or ice, you can count on extra staff in place to answer phone calls in the early morning hours. Phones typically ring off the hook throughout storm coverage, so reporters and management take down storm reports and pass them along to the on-air meteorologists.
Like many other meteorologists, Chelsea found her calling at a very young age. She had a healthy fear of thunderstorms as a little girl, but that quickly turned to wonder and then a passion to understand them. Chelsea attended Texas A&M University, where she received her degree in atmospheric science. A native Texan, she wanted to stay in the Lone Star State because of the wide array of weather we experience. The Big Country was a perfect fit, and in more than a year since she's been part of the weekend team, she's covered ice storms, tornadoes, flooding rains, and droughts.
If you see lightning and then hear thunder 5 seconds later, how far away is the lightning? A, 5 miles, B, 3 miles, or C, 1 mile? The answer is coming up.
No matter who you are, at some point you've enriched others by teaching. You see, teachers guide, giving clear direction and focus. Teachers provide discipline, creating strength and reliability. At Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union, we know there's a teacher in all of us. And by working together, we can make a difference. Join us at Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union today, where everyone's a teacher.
You know, it's funny. We've never talked about saving energy. But somehow, she just knew. Your Touchstone Energy Cooperative can teach you how to save energy and money at togetherwesave.com.
Taylor Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
The answer is C, 1 mile. Count the number of seconds between seeing the lightning and hearing the thunder, and then divide that by 5 to get the distance in miles to the lightning.
Springtime means severe weather in the Big Country, and knowing what to do before bad weather strikes is one of the most important lessons for anyone. That's why we go to local schools every year to talk about storm safety. We go over everything from knowing the difference between a storm watch and a warning to avoiding floodwaters after a storm. Tornado drills also make the list so they can practice at home and at school long before the storm even forms.
KTXS has recruited storm trackers. These volunteer reporters are additional eyes to give us updates on storm conditions near and where they live that we can pass that information on to you.
Storm spotters are a huge help to our KTXS team, but everyone is welcome to send in reports of weather events that happen where they live. On our website, KTXS.com, you will find a form you can fill out to send in your weather report. This will help us get the info in a timely fashion and pass this along to our viewers.
From sunny to stormy, serious to silly, we want your weather pics. To share what you've captured with the KTXS meteorologists, you can email them to weatherpics@ktxs.com or post them straight to our KTXS television Facebook page. Your picture could also be shown on TV right before our daily weathercasts.
Here at KTXS, we are committed to tracking storms to keep you and your family safe. Whether it's with our own Doppler weather radar or our Storm Tracker network, we work hard to bring you the latest weather forecast and to alert you to storm dangers. You can get that information right here on KTXS, on our website, ktxs.com, or on your smartphone with our free apps and email messages sent to you with the latest warnings for your county. We hope you got a refresher course on what to do when severe weather comes your way.
We'll be tracking it right here.
Thanks for watching.